Hey everyone, this is Kai. My mom got me a new point and shoot camera for my Christmas day. So I'm trying it out, and I hope that the picture is better than the last one, because the last one, I don't know, man. I'm always having camera issues. I want to look fly. I don't have the equipment. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. Cool. I'm happy we're on the same page. I want to hurry up and make this video because it's snowing outside and I want to go biking in the snow. I love biking. I work on my bike. I was just working on it. See all the grease in my hands. It's a point of pride for me. It makes me feel tough. I don't know. I just feel really in myself when I'm doing it. So I want to hurry up and go do that. This week's topics, and I've already seen some really good videos on them, disclosing trans genderqueer status and navigating sex as a trans person. Okay, so first, disclosing status. I find that I want to disclose people my status before they even consider flirting with me. They need to know what's up. They need to know how I feel about my body. I want them to know that I'm on hormones. I want them to know how I identify, because I don't want to get into a potential dating, sex, whatever situation with somebody and find that they're not respectful, not sensitive, or ignorant to who I am and how I want to be seen and recognized. And I also have this really bad fear that my trans status and the fact that I'm on hormones is going to freak out my potential dating / sex audience, and that's a really bad insecurity for me. So I just want to tell people up front so I don't feel like I'm giving them the bait and switch. And I know that's kind of a messed up way for me to feel about it, and it's probably not that healthy, but I'm just being honest, you know? And I feel like I just should be honest on this thing, just in case there's somebody else who's oh, hey, I feel like that too. And I think that as I grow more comfortable with myself and become less hyper-aware of the way that society and normative or not so informed people might be judging me, then I'll be able to release some of those things. But as it stands, I live in Wisconsin. There's not really a large radical queer community. You have the regular old LGBT community, but let's just get real. That community has co-opt heteronormative culture, and they're not really that down with the trans thing. So I'm always disclosing up front. Sex. I love fucking. I love fucking. I love sex. I fuck male bodies. I fuck female bodies. I will fuck bodies in between. I will fuck bodies that don't identify with a binary. I mean, I almost don't care. If it looks good and there's consent and respect happening and attraction, I'm totally down. I'm finding now that I'm on hormones and I'm identifying as trans that sex and finding partners is a tad bit problematic. I want to find people who are in my queer community who I therefore don't have to have this long discourse with or be concerned that they're not seeing me the way that I want them to see me. It is something that I'm still kind of trudging through and feeling out, because being recognized is pretty important to me as a trans person, especially because I'm in transition and I don't want to be seen as male and I don't want to be seen as female, and I know that people, because of societal conditioning, are hardwired to see me as one or the other. Usually they just read me as female. So that's a bit problematic to me. As far as hang-ups, Bobby Joe made this video and they were man, when your boobs are hanging and you're having sex, that is the worst. And I would totally agree. I hate that. I hate sleeping with someone and looking down and being oh, I have boobs and I'm not really into them and I'm not really that comfortable with them. I'm also really hung up about hips and thighs and ass and stuff when I'm naked. But before I came out as trans, for the 2 years prior to that, I went through this total overhaul where I was involved with people who were really okay with nakedness and wanting to accept our bodies, and I was going to this this like underground bathhouse thing where like we would all hang out in hot tubs together and sauna, and everybody was naked. And so I kind of like got introduced into this super body positive culture, and it brought me to this place where I could totally live with my body and I could totally be around people naked, and that was okay. So I don't feel as much of a body hang up over sex as opposed to maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Well, and that was before I had even come out as trans. But navigating sex, I like to tell people about what makes me comfortable before we begin, so that there's not that like awkward part in the intercourse. I just said intercourse. When you're like, when they like do something, like for me it's like grabbing my chest without consent for me, and I have to like stop them and be like, I don't like that, that doesn't feel good. That's kind of a mood killer. And so I find that having a conversation beforehand and just like having disclosure and letting people know that consent is a really big deal when you're transitioning from like one sexual action to another, whether that consent is like spoken or whether I'm like moving your hands places or whatever that needs to be, because I'm a genderqueer trans person. That's really important for like my comfort and my emotional safety and so on and so forth. And so I like to have those conversations beforehand about what my specific hang-ups are and what is okay and what is not okay. And I find that that like helps me navigate the other person's body a little better, because let's face it, growing up in America, we all have body hang-ups, and navigating sex is a big deal because our society is like really fucked up, and we get all of these really distorted messages about sex and the way that's supposed to be carried out, and about our bodies and what is okay and what isn't okay, and blah 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 blah. So choosing sexual partners who are mature enough to have those conversations and it still being sexy, I think is like one way that I navigate sex issues. And they're not always that complicated. Like, as long as I feel as if someone is respecting me, then it's totally cool, man. So communication is the key. Disclosure is a big deal. Choosing partners that are sensitive and respectful. Sometimes choosing partners that sympathize works really well. And having like open consent rule in the bedroom. And I think that's all I have to say on the topic. I have the link to my channel, and then I also have the link to my t-shirt shop. And I posted some new t-shirts. An artist friend of mine, I like gave him a bunch of ideas, and he then made them into graphics. And so there's like some really cool new shirts that aren't just slogans, that are geared towards the transgender queer community. So I have a little something for everyone. Check it out, and I will see you next week, and hopefully I have like lots of sex between now and then.